Hello everyone, I am Sudhakar. In this video, we will be sharing the experience of Mr. Shubham Singhania, who has been placed as a member of the technical staff, server technology in Oracle. Before we listen to Shubham, I would like to introduce him formally to our viewers. Shubham is a final year MTech student in the Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Bombay. For his MTech project, he is working on the machine learning based task scheduling approach for edge computing systems. He had secured an All India rank of 475 in GATE in computer science and information technology in 2018. He completed his BTech in computer science and engineering from Haldia Institute of Technology in 2018. Without further delay, I would request Shubham to share his experience of getting placed in Oracle. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you for accepting my request.
Thank you, Sudhakar. It is my pleasure to join you.
Yeah. So, I'd like to know about the firm, the company itself, and the profile which you have been offered. Of course, you might not know the details of your work or the nature of your profile, but the things which were mentioned in the JAF or the company which you have been selected, so you can talk about those things.
So I had applied for Oracle. So Oracle was offering two jobs in IIT Bombay. One was application engineer and other was server technology, that is member of technical staff. So they are basically looking, I think, this year for cloud analytics team. So in that team, I think I am been shortlisted for that team. So Oracle, before they had a preliminary test of their own in their own platform. So where we had some basic programming questions, means basic constructs type question and aptitude test, and after that, people were shortlisted for the interviews. And so
So could you please elaborate about the test? So as you mentioned that there were basic programming questions and the aptitude. So can you please discuss a bit about this test? Aptitude, of course, we know that there might be some verbal ability, some logical reasoning, some quantitative aptitude questions. But in the programming sections, were there only MCQs or we had to write some
yes,
programs
there
also?
were only MCQ. There were no such coding type question, but there were generally MCQ questions in the interview, in the preliminary shortlisting test.
Okay, okay. So in that test, so the syllabus or the things which were covered in that test, like OOPS, pointers. Do you remember any such things which were covered in that
Actually,
particular
I
test?
don't remember exactly what was therein because that time we were giving lot of tests, so
Yeah.
I do not remember exactly. But it was a basic computer science. If anybody gives a GATE exam, so the basic level screening was there, that you know some of these concepts of complexity and data structures and all that stuff. So it was not any typical. It was just a preliminary screening test where just some basic questions were asked about.
So you feel that those who would have appeared the GATE examination of computer science, so those people will not have difficulty in solving those
Yes,
questions.
yes, yes. And those who are comfortable, not just computer science, those who are comfortable with data structures and aptitude. So if you give around 10 to 12, 20 aptitude test of your institute by placement preparation, so you can easily give the aptitude part. And regarding this coding also, if so in IIT Bombay, we have this interviews. Before the interview starts, we have some tests. So if we practice those tests also, most of them will be crossing the test easily.
Okay, okay. So how did you prepare for this test? Like by attending only the placement activities or you,
So
yeah.
most of the people, they generally go for Geeks and interview bit, but I was comfortable with Geeks to a little bit, but I used a platform called CodeDrills.io. So it was a platform which this alumni cell referred to us in the month of October. I think it was ITB alumni who has started this company, CodeDrills.io. So in that, a lot of programming questions were there. That is a good platform where one can look for this programming type questions. So I looked into that because you cannot that code drills have a lot of questions. So if one practices those questions, one is good enough to solve any coding test. But one suggestion is that one should not look into 10 platforms, because we will not be able to solve in all these 10 platforms. So instead of that, if one solves in a particular, stick to a particular platform, then it will be easy for the person, because at that time, that moment when you are preparing, you do not know from how many platforms you want to prepare. So if you prepare from 10 platforms, so that will be difficult. So but if you stick to a one or two platform, it will be good for you only. So that is why I stick to only that codedrills.io and some Geeks for Geeks. When I was having some difficulty in understanding some topics, I used Geeks for Geeks. So these two were my platforms for reading. And you can go for any data structure book if you want to know the basic data structure. Then you will be comfortable with the preliminary screening test and the interviews also.
So you basically focused. So code drills is about practicing MCQ, or is it
No,
about
it is
practicing the coding
practicing
questions?
coding questions. Practicing coding questions.
Okay, okay. I personally have not heard of this particular platform. We mainly used to have HackerRank, HackerEarth. Then I'm hearing this for the very first time. So
Hmm.
of course we can share this with our viewers in the bio of the video, in the description of the video actually. Yeah. So okay, one thing in your profile actually. So you did your BTech in computer science,
Yes.
right? And we know that people say, I have been hearing this for some time now, that CSE is an evergreen department. You should always do something in CSE. So jobs बहुत है CSE में. But
Hmm.
you switched your domain from CS to electrical in masters. Why is
Hmm.
it so? Why did you do that
No,
transition?
so and I'm a research assistant in electrical engineering department. So I am currently a research assistant. So now I am in my lab only. This is system administrator lab in electrical department,
Mm.
commonly known as PC lab. So because I was a fresher, so I have not, uh, I have no experience in real time how systems work. So I was getting a CSAT position at electrical department. So this was my main motivation. So as a CSAT, you can come here and you can get practical experience on that things you have learned over the past 4 years. So this was one point, and then other was that I had met with professors like Professor Virendra Singh and many other professors who are working in machine learning and computer architecture domains and many other domains. So like most of the professors have 50 to 70% works of computer science also with them. Some projects may are there. So when I gave my interviews with, I had given my interview with 5 or 6 professors. I was not sure about this department. So after giving interview, I got a bit that no, this. So since we are eligible for this, we are eligible to apply for this department. So here two departments, there are 6 specialization in this department. So E1 is communication and signal processing, and E2 is control and computing, and E5 is electronic systems, and E3 is power electronic, that is mostly from electrical, and now E6 and 7 they are circuit oriented branches. But 3 branches one can consider from computer science domain if they want to join in electrical: E1, E2 and E5. So E1, if one wants to do in the networking, or one want to do work in machine learning, E1 is the most suitable and E5 is the most suitable. So E5, there are no restrictions on the courses. So there are 6 core courses in which 3 or 4 courses, or maybe more, depending upon your interest, are related to computer science concepts, and rest are department electives that you can take whichever course you want. So there are a lot of more than 60 to 100 courses are offered every year in the department. So you can choose any of the, or you can take from the institute also. So there is no restriction on the course you are taking. So you can, I have taken computer vision courses, then machine learning courses from other department. It's not that I was stick to electrical department also. So you can take whatever course you want in IITB. This is a flexible opportunity that you can take courses from many department, and you can tag them as your department elective. But you have to complete your core courses, which is six in number. But they are also some courses are aligned. So because people from many specialized, so in E5, 5 or 6 department are allowed. So electrical is there, physics is there, then instrumentation is there, computer science is there. So many branches are allowed to open. So it is, the curriculum is such that it is not specific to one branch. It is that many branches can come and do. So that was my main motivation. Now I am working with Professor Virendra Singh for my MTP project. So the things are combined. So he is also going and teaching in computer science departments courses such as computer architecture, advanced computer architecture, digital design. So a lot of things are there. So I do not have any problem with the courses, and I have completed my coursework also, and my CPI is also good. So that doesn't is not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you mentioned that E1, E2, E3 and all these things. So for our viewers, stands for electrical engineering and 1, 2, 3 shows the specialization, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so depends. So in electrical engineering, you have a lot of options to choose from.
Choose from.
Yeah,
It
like
is a very big department with more than 70 professors, and a lot of students are there. So more than 1,000 students are there. So it doesn't have a problem
yes.
joining. Yes.
So you mentioned that you are working as a sysad. So could you please explain that your role as a sysad?
Yes. So in our CSAT team, there are three profiles: web, server, and network team. So when we join as freshers, so I am in the web team. So we basically look into the website development of the EE website, and we look into uh, some other stuff such as some network problems may be there. So we have to handle that. Then servers are there. So upgradation of the technology needs to be done. So these are the basic things that we do as CSAT in the department.
Okay, and I guess sysad stands for system administrator.
Yes, system administrator.
Great. Yes, so you explained like yeah, I was just curious like why did you try shift from CS to electrical? But as you mentioned that here also you are pretty much into CS. It's not there is not a very distinction
No,
between.
but now if you go into research, you need little bit electrical stuff also in
Yes, yes.
computer science. So that is like a mixed stuff. It is good. So that is why I think.
Yeah, so sort of you are dealing with the amalgamation or a mixture of these two profiles. And nowadays, I think everything involves programming.
Mhm.
So be it any department programming, तो हमें आनी ही चाहिए. So I think yeah, that's why you are a very good candidate for this position. And yeah, so coming back to our discussion of your placement experience. So you mentioned about the test that you referred to Geeks for Geeks and CodeRisk.io for preparing for the MCQ and the coding problems. And then you also discussed about the details of profile, the company itself. Could you please tell us about, was there any CPI cutoff in this JAF?
No. In Oracle, there was no CPI cutoff, but
Okay.
this time, generally, what I saw was like some of the companies when they were shortlisting. So because everybody was working from home and most of the company did not have test because of the time constraints. So some companies, I think I do not know sure by sure, but maybe they have applied some CPI cutoff for some uh, profile shortlisting. It is, I am not sure, but I think that it was applied, but till last year it was not there. But this year, because for any JAF, most of the people were applying, so they had to cut off somewhere
Just
to
to eliminate some number of
some.
students in the very
So this
beginning.
year, this was little bit unfortunate that
Yes. But in the JAF there was no CPI cutoff mentioned.
no.
But even when
While
they
JAF filling, there was no CPI cutoff,
yeah.
but I think somewhere in shortlisting, they might have applied little bit
Yeah,
CPI.
so I guess there might be the case that after signing the JAF, they would have released a list for certificate candidates for the test itself,
Mm-hmm.
and then those good candidates would have appeared for the test, and then out of that, so was there any resume shortlisting before interview resume shortlisting?
Yes. Many companies had their resume shortlisting also, and
Okay, in your case, was there resume shortlisting before the interview?
yes. For me, so I was shortlisted for Hitachi, then Mercedes, then VMware. So these were VMware. I had test, but they were also looking into your resume. So based on the test, after that they were looking into your resume also. Rakuten. So these were my Japanese company. Basically, Hitachi and Rakuten were based on resume shortlisting, and Mercedes had just had an aptitude test. So in that I had applied for data scientist profile. So that was a resume, the only aptitude. But after that, they might have applied resume shortlisting for the concerned JAF for which. So I have filled multiple JAFs, but I got shortlisted for one. So they might have checked which profile that may be.
Yes, so yeah, this time due to COVID-19 pandemic, there were having multiple shortlisting procedures. Even though the JAF there was not very clearly mentioned but we might have CPI filters, resume filtering, and all these things. So yeah, so it might vary depending upon the scenario. It might change in the next year. But yeah, let us see what happens. So we can talk a bit about the resume. Like you use two-page resume to sign the JAF, right?
Yes.
Two-page resume, है ना?
Yes.
Yeah.
2 pages.
So you can talk a bit about, like, given that you are a student of means you did your BTech in CS and then you started your masters, and I guess you are an RA, na? You are 3 years program candidate, na?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 3.
Yes. So then you joined here in IIT Bombay to pursue your masters in electrical. So how did you balance your resume, or how did you create your resume? So you can talk a bit about your resume.
Okay. So in my resume, uh, so as an RA, you get a lot of time in 3 years. So you can do a lot of projects and you can do a lot of extracurricular activities, and and you are having a CSAT experience. So generally, my resume is such that firstly academics, then any job experience. Since I was a fresher, but since I was a CSAT, so in my work experience part, I have written my CSAT role. And so in IITB, every point which you write, you have to verify it from the corresponding professor. So
Yeah.
each and every point is being verified such that no anomaly is there in future. You said something, but it is there something. So that is not allowed. It is verified. Uh, so every point was getting verified, and the course project that we did in this year. So I had so courses. Mostly all the courses have some kind of a course project. So these course project I had verified it from my professor. So they were ranging from various domains to the domains, and then there was my extracurricular things which I had done, and some extracurricular activities which I had taken part in, some position of responsibilities which I have done. So I had mentioned that also. So these were in a chronology where first my academic experience, then my work experience, then my academic projects, then my position of responsibilities, and then my hobbies and interests. So this one my chronology.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you really organized it pretty well, and yeah, it's new for me that I think your work experience as system administrator, you mentioned it as a work experience, and I think so for our viewers in IIT Bombay, at least in IIT Bombay, I guess we have two different programs. One is TA and RA. TA stands for teaching assistant. RA stands for research assistant. TA means 2 years program. RA means 3 years program. So like Shubham pointed out that in case of RA you get a lot of time. So yeah. So then you also get some kind of work experience. There you are assisting a professors, dealing with some kind of department activities. So like Shubham did. So those things can be put as a work experience, right, Shubham?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, so and as I can see from your resume that you have done projects in computer vision, parallel programming. So yeah, so image processing. So I think you had somehow in your mind that you will be, as I can see from a project, that you might be joining some kind of machine learning profiles.
Yes.
But I think you ended up in server technology. So how did that transition happen?
No. Server technology, they are taking for a lot of profiles. So in that there is some need of TensorFlow also. So
Okay.
exactly the profile we don't know, but we will be working with server technology stuff where they will be doing some cloud analytics for that, I think.
Okay, so there will be some application of machine learning in
Yes.
your profile.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, we cannot be so sure right now, but there are chances. So that's why
So
then,
in the JAF, it was mentioned that they needed machine learning also. So I don't know exactly what the JAF corresponds. Yeah, but they were telling that they are interviewing for cloud analytics team.
yeah, of course. So if analytics is there, then definitely there will be some kind of machine learning as well. We can at least hope so. Yeah. So anyway, your projects will come handy at that point of time, and your past experience as a system administrator, your BTech experience,
Mm.
everything will definitely come handy while working for Oracle.
Mm.
So yeah, so I guess we have covered the things like test, CPI cutoff, and the departments. Could you please was it the JAF open for all of the departments?
Yes, generally most of the jobs they open for all the department, but after that the tests are there, and then
Yeah. Yes. So this JAF was open for all of the departments. BTech, MTech, everything.
yes, we take them.
BTech, MTech, everything. Yeah. So yeah, I guess software engineering profiles mostly since so I think most of the firms offering software profiles they open for almost all the departments.
Yes.
Yes. So then we talked about the departments. We talked about the CPI cutoff. We also talked about your resume, your other experiences as well. Test हो गया. And what was the duration of the test? कितना लंबा test था?
Test was around 1 hour, I think, of Oracle.
1 hour. And in 1 hour, you had to solve both aptitude and programming questions.
Yeah.
And they were completely MCQs. No coding question was there.
Coding,
मतलब
I
coding
think
मतलब लिखने में नहीं था.
code snippets were there, but
हाँ, snippet.
no coding questions were there. I remember
हाँ,
that.
मतलब बस स्निपेट था तो आउटपुट पूछा गया था या
हाँ,
कुछ
हाँ,
उसमें
हाँ,
एरर
हाँ,
ढूंढने को कहा गया था,
हाँ,
बट ऐसा नहीं था कि प्रोग्राम देके लिखना नहीं था.
नहीं.
Yeah, I get it. So I guess then we have talked the things which happened before the interview. तुम्हारे दिमाग में कुछ और चीजें हैं जो कि इंटरव्यू से पहले बताना चाहिए जो इम्पोर्टेंट हो?
नहीं, that only you should do whichever test institute tests are there. So institute had around 7 tests, I think 7 to 10 tests. So for coding, and department also had 5 to 6 tests. So the institute coding tests which are there, so ऐसा नहीं होता है कि आप वो सब कर लो. तो मैं क्या करता था कि टेस्ट के बाद भी मैं उन क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करता था. तो उसमें भी इतने वेराइटीज ऑफ क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं कि आप अगर सॉल्व करते हो तो आप after one time you become a little bit experienced with that field.
Yeah.
You can try that, like if you want to give coding tests. So practicing more and more will help. So if you do the things honestly, it will definitely work.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess really means even if you are not able to solve the question in the time frame, you can solve it later at your
Yes,
own pace, at your own
yes,
speed.
you can solve it later, but do not delay. So what happened? So initially I started delaying. So कल कर लेंगे, परसों कर लेंगे. But
Yeah.
I saw after 1 or 2 tests that I am delaying only it. I am not doing that.
Yes.
तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि जब होता था then I used to solve it at that time only.
Yeah.
चाहे मेरे को 3 घंटा लगे या 4 घंटा लगे, but I should try. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं कल के लिए, because you have lot of other tasks to do at that time, so you should generally do it.
Yeah, you have to be sincere and prompt.
Yes.
Rather, you should not keep on procrastinating because टालने से चीजें सॉल्व नहीं होंगी. You have because ultimately you have to put to yourself कि आपने खुद
इम्प्रूवमेंट. आपको अपना स्ट्रेटजी अपने खुद से बनाना पड़ेगा. ये नहीं कि मैं अगर आपको बोलता हूँ कि आप ऐसे करो या वैसे करो. It depends upon you that you have to do it. So generally लेट नहीं करके उस समय कर लो, तो later time you will be free when more things will come up, so you will not have time then. अगर आप पहले से टाइम पे कर लेते हो तो अच्छी बात है.
And I think practicing always helps. जैसा टेस्ट वगैरह में भी even if some company test is going on और तो उसमें भी कुछ अगर चीजें अगर आप सॉल्व नहीं कर पाए तो you can just take a note of this and you can try solving it later because sometimes questions are repeated from one computer to another company.
तो ऐसा मेरा था कि इस बार क्योंकि कुछ टाइम के बाद इन्होंने जैफ ओपन कर दिए थे सारे की you can fill number of jobs.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
तो मैंने क्या किया था कि जो भी कंपनी इसमें मैं देख रहा था कि एलिजिबल हूँ तो मैं अप्लाई कर दे रहा था. तो एक टाइम पे ऐसा हो रहा था कि मैं सारे मतलब हर कंपनी इसके ही मैं कोडिंग टेस्ट दे रहा था. मेरे पास हर रोज 1 या 2 टेस्ट होते थे और सैटरडे संडे तो मैं सिर्फ टेस्ट ही देता था. तो उससे क्या हुआ, मेरे को प्रैक्टिस भी हो गया और मेरे को मतलब बेनिफिट होता ही है, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होता. मतलब
Yeah, definitely practicing always helps. और
प्लेटफॉर्म जैसे कोई हैकर रैंक में हो रहा है, फिर कुछ एक अलग प्लेटफॉर्म्स थी जिनमें ऐसा था कि आप अगर टेस्ट केस चेक भी नहीं कर सकते. अगर आपको खुद से कोड करना, मतलब हैकर रैंक में क्या है 1 or 2 डेमो टेस्ट केसेस आते हैं, बट व्हेन दैट प्लेटफॉर्म नो टेस्ट केसेस रहते हैं, सो यू कैन नॉट प्रैक्टिस. तो ऐसा भी था, हमारा नहीं हुआ उसमें, बट एक एक्सपीरियंस है ना कि ऐसा भी हो सकता है. तो कोई फ्यूचर टाइम में कोई और कंपनी है तो मतलब यू हैव टू बी कंफर्टेबल. हैकर अर्थ में हो रहा है या किस में हो रहा है, तो सबकी अपनी अलग अलग पोर्टल्स होती है. तो अगर आप 1-2 बार उस पोर्टल में जैसे मैं हैकर रैंक से बहुत कंफर्टेबल हो गया था. तो हैकर रैंक में मैं देखता था तो मेरे को प्रॉब्लम मतलब कुछ सोचने नहीं पड़ता था, फट हो जाता था. बट इफ यू लुक इनटू सम अदर प्लेटफॉर्म सो यू हैव टू थिंक. बट अगर आप 1-2 बार कोई कंपनी में टेस्ट दे चुके हो तो आप थोड़ा कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हो.
Yes, really. Yes, so I think we have pretty much covered all the things which happened before the interview. Yeah,